And first I asked her why she had sex with Trump. Listen to that, and then listen to what she says after that, and then we're going to talk about the trial, because it's quite a variance of what she said to me in 2018. Why did you Donald Trump?
I have no idea.
Okay, but you say it's not a Me Too case.
It is not a Me Too case. I mean, I wasn't assaulted. I wasn't attacked or raped or coerced or blackmailed. They tried to shove me in the Me Too box to further their own agenda. And first of all, I didn't want any part of that because it's not the truth, and I'm not a victim in that regard.
That's not what she's saying now. She's talking about he was bigger and blocking the way. It's all the Me Too buzzwords. She said there was a power imbalance of power, for sure. My hands were shaking so hard. She said she blacked out. Blacked out? She's a porn star. I don't think sex...
That doesn't mean she's been subjected to the likes of Donald Trump. I might black out too.
Do you really think she blacked out? I mean, a porn star is used to having sex with people she does not know. That's the job. It's kind of like Stormy Bob Stormy.
When you have liberal Bill Maher absolutely destroying your case, you got some issues. You've got some major issues on your hands. And as you guys might have guessed, yes, we're going to have to double back, or in the words of Jen Psaki, circle back to the Stormy Daniels case, because I know we talked about it a couple times already. This will probably be like the third video on that case, actually, thus far. But obviously, each video is different. I'm not saying the same thing in every single video. So yeah, we're going to have to circle back to that case, because we have something from the BBC that you guys are absolutely going to laugh your behinds off at, because it is absolutely hilarious watching leftist media get owned. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. And let's dive in.
And now I'm joined by Mike Davis, the man tapped to be Trump's Attorney General if he wins in November. And later we'll be speaking to Rina Shah, Republican commentator and political strategist who has worked as a senior advisor in Congress. Mike Davis, thank you very much for joining us. Let's ask you first of all, what do you make of the trial? And how damaging do you think, you'll have heard Anthony Zurcher there perhaps, how damaging could it be to Donald Trump?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to be Trump's Attorney General. I've been trolling people, and I've made that very clear. I would say the fact that this woman you just had on, did you say that she was a porn star? And
no, I said she was an adult. I said she was an adult film star. She's a friend of Stormy Daniels, who you will have heard said that she was in the room that night. She was on the phone that night when Stormy Daniels called her and Donald Trump spoke to her. So she was commenting on how the trial was going. But I wonder how you think the trial is going.
Well, I think it's perfectly fitting that a porn star would be on your show and talking about a alleged sexual encounter that they were trying to arrange in 2006. This is complete and total nonsense. This is garbage. This is about trying to humiliate President Trump and to interfere in the 2024 presidential election. This alleged encounter that Stormy Daniels says happened was in 2006. There was a settlement of a nuisance claim and put in the books in 2017, and somehow that interfered in the election in 2016 with this 2017 accounting, and somehow that was a bookkeeping misdemeanor that President Trump's accountants booked in his books as a legal expense.
And this is all what's being debated in court. But you said on Fox News 2 weeks ago.
I agree with lawyer Mike Davis, right? This is a sham. This is just to throw dirt on Trump's name. And I talked about this in the last video, the whole Stormy Daniels, with the whole Stormy Daniels situation. And I actually showed you guys a clip at the end of that video. But I think the whole purpose of this is just to throw dirt on his name. They don't care if they actually get a conviction. I mean, they would like to get a conviction, of course, but that's not really the true purpose. The true purpose is to throw dirt on his name. And that's why you see and hear a lot of information that has nothing to do with the case coming out, at least in my humble opinion. That's why you hear a lot of information that has nothing to do with the trial, like, coming out. He wore a silk robe or whatever it was. Like, that has nothing to do with the case, right? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So why do we need to know about it? You know? So I think the whole purpose is to throw dirt on his name because they know even if they do manage to get a conviction, right, it's going to get thrown out on appeal. But by the time it's thrown out, the election's already over, right? And by then, you know, hopefully they get their puppet back in office, you know, Biden, and it'll be far too late for Uncle Trump to do anything about it because it's past the election, so it doesn't matter to them. You know, I personally think that is the whole purpose of this whole thing. But y'all let me know how y'all feel in the comment section, please.
The court's an illegal. Clearly, there is an illegal, unconstitutional gag order here. Why do you think that's true? I mean, do you think any defendant should be able to speak out about the judge?
Yeah, in the United States of America, we have something called the Constitution, and we have the First Amendment and the Sixth Amendment and the 14th Amendment. And if there's anyone on the planet who should have the constitutional right to speak out against the judge, the prosecutor, their staffs, the witnesses, their biases, the process, it is a criminal defendant going through the criminal process. You don't gag criminal defendants in America. I don't know what you guys do in the United Kingdom, but in America, we have constitutional rights, and they've turned the Constitution on its head by gagging a criminal defendant, while this judge, whose adult daughter, Lauren Michon, is raising millions of dollars off of this case, requiring her recusal under New York statute, is allowing Stormy Daniels and Michael Cohen. Stormy Daniels, a porn star who's raising money off this trial on her Penn Twitter profile, on her Penn tweet on Twitter, on X. And you have Michael Cohen, who's a disbarred attorney and a convicted perjurer, raising money on TikTok. And now you just had this bimbo porn star say that President Trump... I think
calling a bimbo porn star is pretty offensive. And I'd like to ask you...
First Amendment. Watch what he does after this. What
you make of the trial in terms of the possibility that actually, in a way, that Donald Trump could benefit, you know, certainly from his base, but benefit because you might have heard Anthony Zurcher saying that it is having an impact in the campaign, but it may not be a negative one.
You just had a bimbo porn star come out and accuse President Trump of trying to have a threesome with Stormy Daniels. This woman is so credible that the prosecutor doesn't want to call her in to be a witness. I mean,
let's just be quite clear. Let me just ask you a question. You think it is totally outlandish that Donald Trump would ever have a threesome? I just want to ask you that. Totally outlandish. Would never happen.
It's not relevant at all to this.
Bingo. It has nothing to do with the case. Nothing. But once again, I don't think the whole purpose of this case is an actual conviction. It's just to throw dirt on his name. That's it, in my humble opinion. And we see that playing out time and time again. What does that have to do with the case? Explain to me, why does the public need to know about that? That has nothing to do with the case. Zero. None. Zilch. Right? So the only purpose of that information coming out is just to try to down him right before the election. And, you know, it shows Democrats' desperation. It shows that they know that they are trash, that they are weak. When you have to go to this level in order to try to win, you're garbage. You're garbage. I mean, it's simple and plain.
Criminal prosecution, and that's the point of Stormy Daniels' testimony. Not only is it not relevant under Rule 401 of the Rules of Evidence, it is unfairly prejudicial under Rule 403. And the fact that this judge has President Trump gagged where he can't respond to Michael Cohen and he can't respond to Stormy Daniels and this bimbo porn star you just had on who made that malicious smear against President Trump, he can't respond to that or he goes to jail. That just proves what a kangaroo court this is. This is Democrat lawfare and election interference. And frankly, the BBC should be ashamed of itself that you just put a bimbo porn star on.
I think we get the message. I think we get the message about how you're addressing her. Thank you very much for doing this.
What would you call her?
I would call her a woman who happens to be either a film star or she has a job. I don't think that you've any particular locus in this.
She definitely has a job.
Well, let's talk to Alana because
she's definitely got a job. Blow job. I'm sorry. It was just too easy, It was one of those things where it was just right there, like it was just like the easiest joke in the world, She's definitely got a job, Oh man, my goodness.
She is still here. Do you think, Alana Davis, you think that Stormy Daniels ever regrets speaking out?
Absolutely not. In fact, I would imagine she was more frustrated that she had to sign a non-disclosure agreement in the first place that stopped her from speaking out.
I love how these folks try to make her seem like this really credible witness when we all know she isn't. Neither is Michael Cohen. Those are like the two worst witnesses you could ever possibly have, right? Oh, man. That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Definitely got a job, right? Definitely has a job. But, I just thought that was funny. The BBC absolutely getting owned. And yes, I know the BBC part is funny too. But I'm going to try to keep it PG. Well, I guess we're already past the point of PG. We've been talking about P-stars and everything thus far. So I guess we're a little past the point of PG. But anyway, I'm not going to make too many jokes. Oh, my goodness. Wow. So many jokes that could be made about this entire situation. But we going to relax a little bit. BBC absolutely getting owned on their own network by the lawyer Mike Davis. Absolutely love seeing it. And deservedly so. They deserve to be owned, right, for this ridiculousness. And we saw the other day, actually, I want to say I had the clip pulled up. Oh, yeah, MSNBC, talking like Joe Biden over here. MSNBC host Lawrence O'Donnell, he tried to make Stormy Daniels into like this saint with like this whole little spiel. I'll play part of it. Actually, here, check it out.
Well, the excitement and anticipation in the room hit a new high at 10:32 a.m. She entered wearing all black, as if on her way to a funeral. The loose-fitting, plain black clothing draping from her shoulders to her toes suggested the modesty of a nun. The makeup was minimal, the way she and the other moms in her neighborhood might look when shopping at the local grocery store. The long blonde hair held up with a clip at the back of her head, the way it might be in a utilitarian way while she was doing dishes or checking one of the horseshoes.
Or getting down, Sorry. Anyway, it's just absolutely funny how they try to make this out to be like this type of this saint or something, right? But if, goodness gracious, if this was like Trump's daughter or something, they always go after anybody that's not a Republican or is a Republican, but then someone who is attacking Republicans or possibly a Democrat. I don't know who Stormy, what her voting record is. I could probably guess, right? Especially at this point. But if it's anybody that is perceived to be on their side, dressed like a nun. Do you know what she did for a living? I don't think nuns do that. Oh, man. Anyway, y'all let me know what you thought about this one in the comment section below. like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.